Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 115 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy you're here with me today. It is Saturday, June the 11th, 2022, and it's late in the afternoon. I have been on the go since about 7:30 this morning. It's 5:30 this afternoon. We had some functions at the church this morning, and then my husband had a memorial service that he did in the afternoon, which was about a little over an hour's drive from our place to there. So I just got home like barely half an hour ago. So I'm getting everything organized, and I want to get my podcast up today because I won't have time tomorrow to film it either. So, such is life. But it has been a busy and productive week. I have one finished object to show you, and I have two new projects I've started, and one whip that I didn't touch. My existing whip, I ignored it this week. Oops. Anyway, so my finished object is my Let's Roll socks. And these were, I gotta get used to holding these sock blockers. They're harder to manage than my old ones. There we go, that'll work. Anyway, these are my Let's Roll socks. It is a pattern by Zoe Sphere. And these were the qualifying round socks for the Super Sock World Championship competition over on Ravelry that I participate in quite a few years. So the pattern came out, I think it was around the 26th, I believe the 26th of May. And we have until the 14th or 15th of May or June to complete this pair of socks to the specifications in order to continue receiving the remaining socks for the rest of the competition. So I love these socks. They are so loud and happy. I love loud, happy socks. I love it. So I used leftover yarn that I had in my stash. These are from all three colors. There's three colors, the yellow, pink, and blue. They're all colors that I dyed myself. And I did the cuffs, heels, and toes in this bright, sunny yellow. I love this yellow. I really love this yellow. I wished I had kept track of how I created this yellow. So I would like to replicate it, but I didn't keep track. So these were done top down, cuff down. There were two options for knitting them. You could have done them toe up or cuff down. And I typically prefer cuff down socks. It's just I've had more practice doing cuff down socks and I'm more comfortable with them. Standard heel flap, heel turn and gusset decreasing. Just your basic wedge toe. The top of, let me put one down for a moment. The top portion is stranded color work, and for the stranded color work we had an option if we wanted to practice using ladder back jacquard, the technique for carrying the floats. And I did that for both the socks. And I find it keeps the tension pretty good, although I did a better job on the second sock than I did on the first sock. And then the remainder of the sock, in my case I used two colors, the pink and the blue, and it uses the helical technique of doing stripes. So I opted to reverse the color. On one sock I did blue as the background and pink was the stranded portion on the little bicycles. the rest of it is the same with the cuffs, heels, and toes. And the helical knitting is done in the same 2 colors. And then for the second one, I reversed that and I used the pink as the background and the blue as the bicycles. So I have a little bit of variation in the two socks just by that way, but they're just so colorful. They're just so bright and happy. I really like these socks. I think they're so cute, and they're so bright and happy. I just love how bright and happy they are. So those are my Let's Roll socks, and I did get my entry in plenty of time. The socks do qualify to continue on in the competition, so I will be receiving the remainder of the patterns throughout the rest of the Super Sock World Championship. So I will continue to receive the patterns over the next month or 2. I forget how long it runs. The actual first round, I don't believe starts till closer to the end of June. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check that. I'm not 100% sure exactly when the pattern's going to drop for the first round or first lap. So that was fun. I really enjoyed working on those socks. So the helical knitting is something I don't do often, and I like the way it works out. So you don't have, it's basically jogless join when you change colors, striping your way down the sock. And ladder back jacquard I've done once or twice before, so it's not a technique I'm super comfortable with or super familiar with, so the practice was good. So I appreciate that with the pattern. So since I finished those, I finished them on Thursday? No. Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't remember what day I finished them. I finished them sometime this week. I didn't check. I didn't double check to see which day I finished them. Might have been, I think I might have finished the knitting on Tuesday night, and then on Wednesday I was, in the morning I tucked in all the tails. Or was that on Wednesday and Thursday? I don't remember for sure. Anyway, so since I finished those, I have started two new projects. The first one, I had started it a few weeks back and wasn't happy with the way the size was working out, so I opted to pull it all out and start over. So I had somebody teasing me today because they were watching me and they said, "I think you're doing that backwards, aren't you?" Like, yeah, I'm undoing it because it was too wide. So what I'm doing is I'm crocheting a little cat blanket or a mat for a friend of mine for her cat, or cats. I think she has 2. Anyway, this is made with all of the yarn, or some of the yarn that I have left from the yarn that was given to me by a young lady I used to work with. And you've probably heard the story before. Her mother passed away, and so my friend gave me her mom's yarn knowing that I would be able to use it. So I didn't know what I wanted to make with it, so, and some of them were colors that just weren't my colors. So what I opted to do, and you've seen a couple of these projects already, with some of the yarn I've made 2 different crochet granny stripe blankets. They're small blankets. They're probably, one of them is about a lap blanket size. The other one is a little bit smaller. So the last of the yarn from that, I decided it was only 1 skein and a little bit, And I decided probably the easiest thing, it didn't mix in with the other blankets, and it was the wrong weight. And so I thought what the best thing to do with it would be to make a cat blanket. So it's living in one of my Fringe Supply bags, and I'm using 2 yarns held together. Oop. I didn't mean to shake the whole world. Sorry. I'm using these 2 yarns held together. So the white is some bare yarn that I have. It's a either sport or worsted weight yarn. And the other is this orange. So it is Plymouth Yarn Encore. It's a knitting worsted weight. So it's 75% acrylic, 25% wool. And it is 100 grams. Is that what it is? 100 grams or 200 yards. So there was a skein, a full skein or ball, and a little bit of a second skein. So I am making a simple crocheted square or rectangle. I don't have a pattern for this. It's going to be probably a rectangle once it's done. Kind of looks like a creamsicle right now. And basically what I did is I did a crochet chain of, I think, 64 stitches. Then I did a double crochet in the 4th chain from the beginning using US terminology. I did a double crochet, and then I did a double crochet in every chain stitch along the first row. And then I come to the end, chain 2, turn around and do a double crochet in each double crochet from the previous row. And I'm just going to simply go back and forth, just doing one row after another of double crochet until I run out of the orange yarn. And hopefully it'll come out to be roughly square. It might be a little bit wide still. I had started this 2 or 3 weeks back and put it aside, didn't do anything more with it because I thought it was too wide. So when I was at church this morning, we had some spare time, so I was just undoing it so I could start over. And that's when one of the gentlemen was teasing me, saying that he thought I was doing it backwards, because I was undoing it instead of doing it. So I started this morning, and I'm probably about halfway done. There's still a goodly bit of yarn left. I don't think I've used quite half of it yet. So that will grow up to be a little blanket for my friend's cats. Also, I plan on getting a hold of her in the next few weeks, and the hubby and I plan to head up to her place. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive from our place to her place. So we plan to do a day trip up to her house or meet somewhere along the way and take the 3 blankets to her. Once the cat blanket is done, we'll set up something where we can go and visit her and her daughter and drop off all the blankies. So that's the plan. So my second project I started this past week is the Miss May Shawl Mystery Knit Along. So this is a pattern by Helen Stewart, and each clue, there's 5 clues that'll be coming out. Each clue will come out on a Tuesday. The first clue came out this past Tuesday, the 7th, and each clue will come out in subsequent Tuesdays until all 5 clues have come out. So I had picked up my yarn, ordered 8 skeins of yarn from Webs. That arrived late last week, and I was able to, as soon as I finished, I needed to make sure I had finished my my Let's Roll socks before I would start the shawl, and I got that cast on and started on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. I will double check that. So I got started with that. So the yarn I am using for that is, let's put that down here for a second. One of the yarns got away. Oh my gosh, come here, you. So these are the 4 yarns that I'll be using. The pattern calls for either 4 100-gram skeins of yarn. These ones are 50 grams, so I got 2 of each. These were the only colors they had. This particular yarn, the Highland Superwash Sock Twist by Cloudborne. This, I don't know if this yarn is being discontinued, but this particular yarn was on sale at Webb's, and these were the only 4 colors they had, period. So I ordered 2 of each and decided I'll make it work. And I like the combination. The colors are, can't read them without my glasses on. The colors are Lagoon. That's what I'm calling color A. Color B is Taupe Heather. My color C with hair is Ocean. And my color D, the 4th color, is Stone Heather. So the first, you can do it with 4 different colors, or you can do everything in a single color. You probably can do it in multiple colors if you wish, but the pattern is written for either 4 colors, or you can just use one single color for the entire shawl. And that, if you use only one color, you only need 300 grams of yarn. So I got my yarn caked up and got started on it. So since this is a mystery shawl, I am going to put a spoiler alert up in just a moment and give you fair warning. So if you have not started knitting this shawl and you want to knit this shawl and you don't want me to ruin the surprise for you, I will put a timestamp along here someplace to let you know at what time it'll be safe to come back. So when I'm editing, I'll put that information over there when it's safe to come back and see what else I'm talking about at the end of the podcast. So it's living in my fringe supply field bag, and I'm almost finished clue number 1. You go through using first three colors, A, B, and C, in the first clue, and I'm about halfway through working with my 3rd color. So I've probably got about half of the last third to go. So I've made good progress on this. So working on it, either I started on Thursday or Wednesday until Friday. I haven't touched it today. I only worked on the popsicle or creamsicle cat blanket. That's the only thing I've worked on yet today. I will be picking this up after I'm done podcasting or filming. I will get back to it. So I'm going to show you my progress, and I'm going to show you what the shawl looks like. It's not going to be the easiest to see it because it is it'll be kind of scrunchy and bunchy on the needles and hard to see. So if you do not want to see this, spoiler alert, I'll put a timestamp to tell you what time it's safe to come back. So if you don't want to see, please pause, forward up until I finish showing you my progress on this shawl. So final warning, if you don't want to see it, what this looks like, look away. So Let me get my little yarn tails out of the way. And here is what we have so far. So like I say, I'm about halfway through this third section. So here we have the first portion of it in what this is my color A. Then the second part looks like so. And then the third part of the clue I have about half done, roughly half done. So there's still probably another inch to 2 inches more to go. So that's where I am so far, and I'm liking it. So you say this is the Cloudborn, so it's safe to look back now. I'm just going to be talking about some of the details. Whew, sorry, that was quite the sneeze. Alright, so this is, so it's using fingering weight yarn. I'm using the Cloudborn, what's it called? Superwash. Yeah, Highland Superwash Sock Twist. So that's the yarn I'm using, and I'm using 4 colors: Lagoon, Taupe Heather, Ocean, and Stone Heather. Hey, I remembered them this time. And so I have those 4 colors. I have not used the 4th color in there. It's not included as part of the first clue. But I'm also using size 4mm needles, or US 6. If I said that wrong, I will correct myself on the side. And I'm really enjoying this knit. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy Helen Stewart patterns. I've done a couple. I think this is my 3rd mystery shawl of hers I've done. 2nd for sure. It might be my 3rd. I know I've done this. I know this is the 3rd shawl of hers I've made. One of the other 2 I've made might not have been mystery shawls. I can't remember for sure. But this is my third shawl pattern of hers I've done, and I love her patterns. I really do enjoy her patterns, and I'm really excited to see the next clue on Tuesday. So I'm thinking I might be able to finish this 3rd clue. I'll probably get some time to work on it this evening, and I might have some time to work on it tomorrow on Sunday, but I might not. Sunday's going to be quite busy. We've got a lot of things on our plate for Sunday, but I might have time to work on it a bit in the evening, and then I should have it. I will have this clue finished before the 2nd clue comes out on Tuesday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep up for each and every clue. Time will tell. But for now, I will manage to get the first clue done in the first week. That's typically what happens to me when I do mystery shawls of any sort. There seems to be fewer stitches at the beginning, and I'm able to keep up. But as it progresses, I tend to run out of steam, and I can't keep up. So I'm hoping to get that clue finished and get underway on the 2nd clue next Tuesday. I also hope I can finish the creamsicle cat blanket. I'm hoping I can get that finished maybe tomorrow. I will be able to work on it a little bit tomorrow during some busy time, just because it's an easy, mindless kind of project for me to work on. The shawl, not so much. I have to follow the instructions in the chart, and it's not a chart that I can memorize and do without paying careful attention. And if I have some extra time, I will get back to my Empress top. But for now, that one, poor thing, will be on the sidelines for a little bit while I work on this shawl and the cat blanket. But otherwise, not too much else. I've also been keeping busy with work stuff. I've been doing some research, working on some papers, working on some writing. I had 2 2 days worth of conference stuff on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Both days it was from noon till 4. So it worked out well. I was able to knit and jot down a few notes here and there as I needed to during the conference. Some things that some of the presenters mentioned that I wanted to keep note of. So that gave me a little extra time to knit this past week. So that was nice. Kind of had like a good 8 hours of knitting time, which was pretty cool. But other than that, not an awful lot is new. Like I said, it was a busy day today. Tomorrow's going to be another very busy day. And Monday, I hope to sleep in and get a lot of knitting and crochet done. That's the plan. Alrighty, so I can't think of much else. So how many else of you? That's not English, is it? English is my only language. Not good. How many of you are doing the Miss May mystery shawl? I'm curious to know. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me this week. Take care, and I will see you guys again in a week. Bye.